Our next guest is the author of the New York Times best-selling book, Pretty Girls. She's out with yet another novel, and I've got to ask, Karin, did they have to find the body in an Atlanta warehouse?
Well, most of the bodies I write about are found in Atlanta. I think that's because that's where I live. I put them in neighborhoods that aren't my own, though.
So what's it like returning to Will Trent?
I loved it. I took a little break away from him for a couple of years. I wrote 2 different books, Cop Town, which is set in Atlanta in the 1970s, which was kind of like putting it in the Wild West, and Pretty Girls, which is set in Dunwoody, but only so I could make a joke about Dunwoody housewives. But being back with Will Trent was really a fun place to be. I love the character. I've been writing about him for many years now, and of course he's with Sarah Linton, who's from my earlier Grant County series. So putting them together and having them trying to work out the ins and outs of a new relationship was a lot of fun.
Well, it certainly sounds fun, but reading your works, you must really have to study and keep up on the latest in forensics. How do you do it?
I'm really lucky that a lot of people at the Georgia Bureau of Investigation spend time explaining things to me, and different investigation aspects, and I've been to the labs, and so I kind of have a good handle on how it works. Of course, I'm writing fiction, so I get to make stuff up, so it happens a lot more quickly in my books than it would happen in real life. But I also think it's kind of a trap. If you know too much about forensics, then you can bore the reader with the details about computers and things like that. So for me, I keep in mind the fact that, DNA usually takes a month, sometimes 2 months to process. So it's not like on television where you get it before the commercial break. So my detectives have to figure out how they're going to solve a crime without the benefit of all this great technology we have that's really costly and that doesn't work as quickly as we want it to.
Karin, with New York Times bestsellers, what is it about your writing that just seems to bring out your best?
Well, I think that you don't choose to be a writer. Writing chooses you. And so I feel compelled to write. I think even if I wasn't published, I would be writing stories. It's something I've done since I was 6 years old. And I just love holding secrets. Maybe it's because I'm the youngest of 3, and I always kept all these secrets about my sisters and generally let them know that I knew these secrets, so they should let me tag along with them when they went to the mall. And I just love knowing things about people. And I also am interested in why people do bad things. I was in Atlanta, or actually in Jonesboro, growing up during the time of the Atlanta child murders. So to see that and how it changed the community was a really fascinating thing for me to witness as a child.
Well, we're certainly glad that you found your way into writing, because we are certainly blessed. And before we go, I know you do so much research. Have you ever come across why certain people do such heinous crimes?
Usually from what I found, it comes from a place of great insecurity. They're just people acting out. Unfortunately for me, as someone who writes about crime, the real reason a lot of people commit crimes is they're just really stupid. And that's hard to write about, so I have to make them a lot more interesting in the books.
Well, Karin, I think you nailed it. Stupid people. And I want to just thank you for your latest novel. Congratulations. It's a must-read.
Thank you.